Hey, welcome to another episode of On the Ledge with Dante and Ricky. I'm Dante.
And I'm Ricky. So Dante, it's been about a week now since we talked.
Yeah,
How's your week going?
it's good. It's good. It's great. It's kind of chill. Had a bad headache Friday, but trying to live life.
Are you feeling better now?
I feel a lot better.
All
Tylenol
right,
comes
that's good.
clutch.
That's
But what
good.
about
That's
you?
good. It's good. Started watching Invincible. I didn't realize it was
What?
a weekly thing
Yes.
because I got to the last episode and I was expecting another one, and I was like, oh, it's every Friday. And
Yeah, yeah. They released the first three episodes. What was that now? 3 weeks ago? So the first three episodes came out at once, and then they've
oh,
gone weekly. And I think they're only getting 8 episodes though. So did you watch
okay.
Fridays? You
Yeah,
watched
because
all
I
five.
watched
Yeah.
the Friday one on Friday, not knowing it was the last episode
Yeah.
out.
What
There's only 5 episodes, right?
Yeah, only five. Only five.
Okay,
Only five.
okay. Then I did watch the last one.
How are you liking it?
It's okay. It's not bad. I don't know. There's not a lot. There's a lot of dark themes and there's a lot
Yeah.
of like mystery to it,
Yeah.
but otherwise it's just like a typical superhero cartoon to me.
You know what? I've been hearing that because I really love it. I really love it. I never read the comic, so I've gone in blind because like usually with these comic book shows I at least know something going into it, but I never knew
Mhm.
about it. But like Richard, our friend, he told us about it and told us like watch this because he's read the comic. And then like I didn't like, especially, well, do we want to say spoilers? I think we could say spoilers if we say spoiler alert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So spoiler alert. At the end, what, like episode one, like because the first part of that show, it feels definitely like a typical superhero show. And it's like ripping
Mhm.
off a bunch of things. Like you'd see them ripping off of like Justice League and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
after that credits, and it keeps going to that scene where Omni-Man just does what he does. And I was just like, what the? As soon as I
I
saw that
actually
stuff,
saw that scene before I started the show, but that
oh,
scene kind of like
okay.
made me want to watch it to see what the
Right.
hell's going on. I didn't expect it to be in the first episode.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah, like I think it went viral because I remember seeing it places like on World Star. They're like, "Oh, look at this superhero show," but they like that scene. I was just like, "Okay." I was in before because I liked it. I just like the vibes and everything. But like that scene, I was just like, "Okay." And then, but I love like J.K. Simmons is voicing Omni Man, and then Stephen Young is voicing Mark, and Sandra Oh is voicing his mom,
Yeah. Yeah.
Deborah, forget her name.
Deborah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
Debbie, Deborah, something like
Deborah. Yeah,
that.
but that voice cast, like Zazie Beats is in there, and Gillian Jacobs from Community, she's in there too.
Oh, she's in there too. Oh, okay.
She's the girl
Ah.
with the pink power thingy.
Oh,
I
Adam
forget her
Eve
name
or
too.
something.
Yeah, Adam Eve. She's dope
Yeah.
too.
It's
Yeah,
a. I mean, the last episode was pretty intense, I would say.
very very intense to say the least. Like I wasn't like, but I like also too how his dad was like, "Don't do it," and then, spoiler alert again. His dad was like, "Hey, don't help this guy," and oh yeah, and Mahershala Ali voices the guy, that criminal guy that he was helping with the daughter and
Okay.
everything. So he voices him, and I love that guy. He's such a good actor. And but I like how the dad was like, "Don't do it," and then he was watching the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that too. He was just
Yeah,
watching, and I fully expected him to just swoop in,
me too.
to
I thought he
save
was
the
gonna do
day.
it. Yeah.
But he just did not. So I guess okay.
I'm wondering if he gave the anonymous tip though to the team, and then that's why they rushed in. Like the
Yeah, no, I think it was him, the
yeah,
anonymous tip. But I don't know. I expected him to kind of rush in and save the day because he saw his son just get massacred there. So
yeah,
yeah. I think I like it because it shows how human the superheroes really are. Like
hmm,
they're not gods, I guess, and not like if you were to think about like DC, Superman is technically a god. There's
yeah,
one way to kill this guy, but it's really hard to obtain that, and you just can't go ahead and fight this guy head on. It's just gonna
he's
it's not
gonna
gonna
wreck you.
end well for you.
Yeah,
But yeah, it shows how human they are. They bleed. They get their limbs ripped off.
Yeah, they want to
Um,
they want to just go on a date with their girlfriend. They just want to be
yeah.
normal too, but they have this huge responsibility. And it's just like, well, just a quick question with that. Do you think you could have, because in the back of my head, ever since a kid, I've always been like, I could do the whole superhero thing. Like I've wanted it. I've always wanted to be like a Power Ranger. I've always wanted it. But then
Uh,
it's stuff like that where you see what they have to go through and how your life will never be normal. Like it'll never, like no matter how hard you try. And I think Spider-Man has always been the character that shows that the best. Like the struggle that he has with it and everything there, his
yeah,
responsibilities.
I think it was Into the Spider Verse. That's when I first cut. Well, I mean, it's always been. I've always realized it, but Into the
Mm-hmm.
Spider Verse really showed it, because you get to see the two different Spider Peter Parkers and just how different their lives are. One is
Yeah.
going great, but one is just complete mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's real life things that affect each other's decisions.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I could do it. Just seems like a lot of work to me.
Right? No, it is. No, it is. And it's also too like me in the back of my head is like, but I would want Superman's powers because like anybody else's, if there's one where I could die, like if I had Spider-Man's, like obviously he's like pretty strong too, but like he could still get shot and killed. But
Yeah.
like there's ways to kill Superman too. Like he's also, this is me being really nerdy. he's he's weak. His weakness is kryptonite, magic, and then also
Does
if yeah.
isn't it if the sun goes out, he loses his powers too,
Yes.
and he's
So
get
if
vulnerable.
exactly. So if you hit him with like a red sun ray, because that's on his home planet, they're by a red sun, so they don't have powers. But like if he gets hit with a red sun ray, then he loses his powers. And then also too, like if there's somebody that is as strong as him, then he'll get like hurt like we can too. But I think there's another thing that I just can't think because I know, and I think he might be susceptible to um like if Martian Manhunter tried to get in his head with telepathy, it could happen, but I think he's put up blocks to kind of counter. Like
Right.
he's way over OP, but then there's also some interesting ways to kill him too,
Yeah.
but it's just like it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like really complex ways
Yeah.
of killing this guy. Like this, he's just way too strong, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
If
that's why I
I
love
would
my
be like,
yeah.
I would like Deadpool's powers,
Ooh,
laid
yeah.
back, just constantly regenerating. Yeah,
Yeah. Breaking the
sounds
fourth
cool.
wall.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, just to touch on my show, my beloved show Rocket Ship that you call it, Smallville. That's why I liked it, because it humanized him. That's why at first I thought that show was the dumbest thing. Like I was never gonna watch it. I thought it was the dumbest concept. I was like, I never would want to see Superman without his, like, without being Superman. But then
Yeah.
actually watching the show, because I think when I first watched it, it was like when season 3 or 4 was on. So I caught an episode and I was like, hey, I actually like this. And then like I watched it like properly and then all the way through, and it's just like the way they kind of humanized him. And I don't think it's a show for everybody though too, because I know there's people that has problems with it, and it's kind of like how it like it because it's really like a soap opera type of show, just like the other CWs are. So like
Right.
love stories and blah 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 blah. Even though I like their love stories better than the CW ones, I think they did that. They always did that better. But that's why I like that show, because it's not in the same vein as Invincible, but it humanized him too. Not making him a god, but like it humanized him and kind of
Yeah.
made
I
him
think
more
that's one
relatable.
of the things I don't like about Superman, just because
Hmm.
you know about all the things that he's so good at.
Hmm.
I hate watching any of his movies or shows because it's like it's Superman. Like, really, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Someone might be stronger than him, but it's Superman's, man. What are you gonna do, really? I don't see anyone really beating this guy, and I know he has been beaten before.
Yeah.
But I think one of the coolest concepts I've heard of is when Superman turns bad. That's when it's like, okay, what do you do? What, like, the guy that
Yeah.
you can't beat, the guy
Yeah.
that's indestructible, what do you do to fight him? That's when it gets interesting, just because I think with even anime, when someone's just overpowered,
Hmm.
um, it's like, what do you do? Unless it's a joke like One Punch Man, like the show, if he's just too strong, there's no one can beat him. What's the point?
No,
Right?
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yeah, I don't know. Superman is cool, and I know he's really strong and shit, but I can't watch a lot of the DC stuff because Superman is gonna just save the day. There really is not a lot of people that can beat him. They might give him a little bit of a struggle, but yeah, it's hard to see him lose to anything, really.
Yeah. Did you well, it's a 4 hour movie, so I don't know like if you watch, but
No, I did not.
no, you didn't watch the Snyder
I
Cut.
already know what you're gonna ask me. No, I did not.
Did you watch the original theatrical cut? No? Oh, you missed. You're lucky. You missed that
No,
piece of
I heard all the complaints and just
yeah.
the bad reviews, and I
Yeah.
said, well, I'm not gonna waste my time with that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind watching things a little late. I know what's good to watch and then what's not good to watch. I'd rather just save myself that time.
No, that's
Uh,
true. Like I that's my problem though, because I've just always loved superheroes. So like even like especially not all the CW shows, like I love Black Lightning. I think Black Lightning's great and it's been great the whole way through. Like that one's a
is that the one
stand-up.
with the Rock? Which
Rock?
one? The Rock.
No, that's Black
Wasn't he
Adam.
supposed to?
That's Black Adam.
Black Adam. Black
That
Adam.
movie's coming out. No, Black Lightning is he's a different character like completely.
I've
He
never
doesn't
heard
have
of
anything.
Black Lightning.
No, he's a smaller, like, do you remember Static Shock?
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Wait,
Static Shock had
isn't
his own show like way back, like it was his
yeah,
own
yeah,
cartoon
and
show.
he was also in Young Justice too, right?
Yeah, he was in Young Justice.
Okay.
He was actually not originally a DC character. He was from, I forget the other comics name. It's a different like comic book, but I think DC
Oh,
either
okay.
bought them or works with them. And so then he came over because like back in that old comic show, like the whole Justice League was on an episode with him and everything. But Black Lightning's powers are similar. Like they're not the same character, but they're similar. I think Black Lightning is actually DC's version of like a person with electric
Oh,
powers.
okay.
And then he has kids that have powers as well too and everything. But like that show's dope. Arrow had good seasons. Flash had good seasons, but then and then Batwoman, and then Supergirl had one really like Supergirl's always been like okay or not good to me, but then season 4 was just great, like really great. And then they're now back to the same thing where I'm just like I don't care. But that's my problem. So back to what I was saying. My problem is that whenever I see a superhero, because I love them so much, there's this hope thing where I'm like, maybe the show will get good again or something like that, but I'll just watch it like no matter what. And there's this like show on Netflix that I saw coming. It's another comic book that I never read. It's like Jupiter something. And it has to do with this I think this family is, or these people that were superheroes but they're older now. And then the main guy has kids that are superheroes. But then people in the comments, because in the trailer, it looked okay, but it looked like there wasn't like a bunch of money like how The Boys has a bunch of money behind it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it didn't look as good. And then people were like, this looks like a budget Boys and blah 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 blah. But I think I'll still end up watching it. But
The
yeah.
Boys was good. I still
Boys is
didn't watch
great.
season 2.
Season 2 is good. See, I think season 1's better, but season 2 is really good. Season 2
Okay.
is really
Yeah, I have to watch that. I watched
Yeah.
the first season when it was coming out, and it was interesting because like,
Yeah.
again, it's kind of like the Invincible, where it's just a whole different aspect of superheroes and like the darker side to it, I guess.
Yeah. I think
Um,
that's how they would actually be in real life. Like it would be a whole money behind them. There'd be money involved. They would be like getting ads and stuff. Like if we had superheroes flying around like right now, it'd be a whole bunch of stuff. And they'd have like political ties and everything. Like I think unfortunately that's the depiction that they would be. Like they'd be more
yeah.
money interested, fame interested than anything. But oh wait, that's what I was, because I asked you about the Snyder Cut. I jumped off the ledge, Ricky. I went somewhere else. But no, I was asking you about the Snyder Cut because in that original Justice League movie, and still with the Snyder Cut, that's one of my biggest problems with it. Like the Snyder Cut is definitely better than the total garbage that Justice League movie was. Also, by the way, that Josh Whedon guy is insane. Like he's a terrible person, by the way. Like he's racist, sexist, and everything. Like they're calling him out and stuff for that right now.
Right.
But that's a whole aside. But the problem with those movies was they had the superheroes doing stuff, but it just looked like they were waiting to get Superman back just to finish it and do the job. I think Zack Snyder did a better job of not making them look useless, because in the original cut, it looked like they were trash, and then Superman just came, mopped the guy up, and then was like, it was done. But like, I could see why people have that same issue you have with Superman, because it's just like, well, we have Superman. What are you gonna do? But I
Yeah,
think you could
I
say the
mean,
same thing with Hulk too, even though they kind of played with Hulk
but
a
the
little bit.
see, I
Yeah,
think the way Marvel did Hulk was we were expecting Hulk to come out, but he never came out.
yeah. He
And
got
so
scared.
then
He
it
got shook.
really
Yeah,
was, yeah, and it really was the Avengers and Bruce Banner versus
right.
um Thanos. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, the Hulk is strong, and I think a lot of us when we were watching the Endgame, the Infinity Wars movie,
yeah,
we were expecting the Hulk to come out,
yeah,
especially in the scene where Thanos is fighting Thor and Loki.
yeah.
They and Bruce Banner was just there. We were definitely expecting him to come out and fight, but he just wasn't there. And
No, no,
so
no.
it was like,
He was, but he got beat up, and then he hid away. Remember, because like at the beginning,
right,
he
oh,
yeah,
right, right.
that's what scared him into not coming out again, because he like Thanos
Yeah,
like
but I
whooped him.
think there was I don't remember if maybe I'm misremembering it, but there was a scene where I felt like the Hulk should have been angry, um, where he should. It was like almost like a vengeance thing, like you did this to this person, and I don't remember. I can't remember if there was a scene or
Was it
something.
Infinity War or Endgame? Because he was
Honestly, I
back
can't
in.
remember.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Like me, I could
Yeah,
just those like I've watched the fights and stuff from that. Like I'll
yeah,
watch those over and over again. So
yeah.
like
Maybe
it's
I
always in my head.
misinterpreted because I was expecting the Hulk to come out because
Hmm.
maybe it was the Black Widow thing, like because the Hulk was so close to Black Widow and her death.
Oh no,
Um,
he was
should have.
mad. He was
Oh, but I don't. I think we were expecting like a full on rage Hulk to come out
I see what
somewhere
you mean.
and
I see what
just
you mean. Okay,
really
okay,
like
yeah.
lay it down. And I think a lot of people were pretty disappointed that he didn't come out.
Well, yeah, he was
Um,
under like because they did that thing where they merged him, kind of did like a Professor Hulk thing in Endgame. So he was it was like he was in the Hulk form, but with Bruce's
right.
mind still controlling him and everything. So he was still smart, but he got underused that movie. So yes, he did the snap that brought everybody back, but that was the biggest thing he did in that movie. Like he didn't get a time to really Hulk out and fight
Yeah.
against Thanos, right? I
Yeah.
think that's what you're talking about. Like people wanted that because I was disappointed with that as well too. Even though I those movies are so
Yeah. Because like even though like I'm maybe the Hulk doesn't win, but it would have been a pretty good fight. I would like
yeah,
just a straight up brawl. But
yeah.
I mean that's the good thing about Marvel though. They didn't say, okay, we have the Hulk. Well, just use the Hulk to kill him, right? It's like
That's
we have
true.
a
That is
team
true.
of people. They
Yeah.
worked off each other. I didn't watch Justice League, so but I'm gonna just based off what you're telling me, they just kind of did their thing and then they were praying for a savior to come. They're superheroes, man. They're the ones supposed to be saving. They're not supposed to have a superhero. What the hell?
Well, no,
That's a
that. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But like, that's the thing too, because like, this is me getting really nerdy and because I love like this stuff so much. But like, in that Justice, like you watched the Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited, right? Or maybe not the whole.
did
Oh,
not
not at
finish
all.
them. I maybe caught like a scene or two there, but I
Seen?
honestly was not a big fan of DC. And still
Ah,
probably
okay.
not a huge fan of DC, so
Yeah,
didn't like to keep up with it too much.
those animated series though, I would say so. Like, if it's like it's the Batman series that kind of started it, and then there was a Superman one, and then it went into Justice League, and then Justice League Unlimited. Like those series, if you didn't like DC, I would say to watch them, and then you kind of understand them better because those like the voice actors for those shows. Like when I'm reading a comic, I haven't read in such a long time, but if I'm reading a comic, those are the voices I hear when I read. So like Kevin Conroy for Batman, and then Michael Rosenbaum for Flash, and then I'm forgetting everybody else's names, but all those people, those are the voices I hear. But they're really good series. But the point I was trying to make, like Wonder Woman can literally go toe to toe with Superman. So it shouldn't be
Mhm.
that she's strong enough, and also she doesn't really have like a weakness in this way that he does. So like Kryptonite will just like knock him down, right? But she doesn't have a weakness like that because there was this movie, Justice League Doom, and it's after a comic where somebody breaks into the Batcave, and they get all Batman's plans to take out all the Justice League
Oh,
members. Yeah,
I actually saw a bit of that, but I never finished it. But yeah, he has like the contingency plans for
right.
everyone.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and a little nerdy more fact is that that storyline was actually supposed to be for the X-Men. So it's supposed to be Professor X having a contingency plan for all the X-Men, but the writer for Marvel went over to DC and then did that kind of thing for Batman instead. But
Okay.
his weakness for Wonder Woman was just getting her to fight till she got exhausted. So like her pride was the thing that took her out. Like she'll just keep
Right.
going until she's done. But that's not like a, hey, if I
It's not
hit you with
weakness.
this,
Yeah.
it's not really a weakness. It's just getting her to tire out. So, and then there's also another, there's an episode called, I think it's called Paradise Lost, where Batman, not sorry, not Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman are tricked to thinking each other look like a monster. So they're
Mhm.
fighting each other and Wonder Woman's winning. So like Wonder Woman's winning the fight. And then because Superman realizes it first that they're being tricked, but she was like, she's winning the fight. So it's just like she shouldn't be sitting there waiting for him because she's just as strong, if not stronger than him. So it's just like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think that's coming from someone who doesn't really know too much DC. When I see
Mhm.
the Justice League, it's obviously Superman's number one,
Yeah.
Batman's number two, but Wonder Woman, they're like the top three. And I
Yeah.
know
The Holy
Wonder
Trinity,
Woman,
they call him. Yeah.
given her abilities and all that stuff, she can just wipe out anyone herself. She's strong enough to do everything. Fly, yeah, super strength, all that crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically like a Superman, but woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand how they're gonna make her weak and look weak. I also didn't watch the Wonder Woman movies, but I heard those are really good actually. So
One is good. Two is abysmal. And I could go on and on about that movie. It's just like it's just so bad, and I don't know why. Because one, I like the first two acts, and then it kind of falls apart in the last one. But I still say it's one of the best DCEU movies. And then two is just, I don't. It's like there's disgust that I feel when I watch that movie. Because like at the end, I was just like, what was that? Like, why? Why was it so bad? I still don't understand why it was so bad. That's like, I thought they had a good thing
hey.
going with Wonder Woman. Trash. Don't watch the second one if you watch the first. Don't watch the second.
All right, I I'll watch the first one, but yeah, no, I think from like what you said is what I heard. Like Wonder Woman is the first movie, at least, is like the top movie right now in all of DC. Like
Yeah.
that's a good movie. Um, I just don't understand like if what you're telling me is correct. How in Justice League she's on the team, but they're looking, a little bit weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's Well, maybe they just have to reboot the whole Justice League,
I,
just
on,
complete restart.
I think there. I will say though, like to give Zach his props, even though like I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was bad, but I thought it was just okay. He did a better job of making them not look weak, but they still were just waiting for Superman to come in. But he did a better job of making her look really, really, really dope, like the way she should. So like I will say that like he did a better job. Other than with Joss Whedon with Josstice League, it's just like it looked like they were trash until Superman came, and I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, that's
Okay.
my two.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on the whole Justice League fiasco.
Well, that went from how was our week to just a straight up superhero chat.
I'll always find the way to superheroes. Like, look at me. I'm in a Captain America shirt. Always find a way. Yeah.
But, well, if you guys want to talk more about superheroes, comic books, uh, any of that stuff, just talk to Dante. He's your guy. As long as I remember, as long as I could remember, he knew voice actors, storylines, all that stuff. Still does, it seems like. So,
Yep.
if I
Nothing's
want to
changed. I'm
talk
still a
more,
nerd. But yeah.
hey, that's not a bad thing these days.
No, it's not.
Being nerdy, geeky is popular. So,
It seems to be the
hey,
thing that's
we were
in,
just
right?
ahead of our time, man.
Right? Exactly, exactly. Being nerd. Because it is cool though, right? Like superheroes are
Well, when you
cool.
get to if you have the mindset where you think cartoons are for kids, then you're never gonna think it's cool. But when you actually look into the themes of the comic books, the
Mhm.
shows, it's a lot darker. Um, and I think Marvel was probably probably the movie, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is probably what made it cool.
Mm,
People started caring and started thinking it was acceptable to read comic books, even though it was always acceptable. You know,
yes, yeah.
we're just not getting shamed for it anymore.
Well, yeah, because I guess they made it more mainstream because
Yeah,
the whole
which is a
connected
good
universe.
thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's always a great thing. But
yeah.
like but also too, like even though I know like the MCU is way better, I want the
Oh no,
DCEU to be great. It's just like I don't know what they're doing. It's
yeah,
good.
no, I'm in the same boat because I think
Yeah.
if I know some of the darker stories, I know some of the different timelines and stuff like that, and it makes for a great narrative, a great plot. They
Hmm.
just have to do it right, and then they're in the money. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just getting to that spot. So we'll
I
see.
and yeah, and I think they will. I think the one last thing I'll say about it is I think they're gonna like with the Flash movie because they're calling it Flashpoint. So that whole storyline is Barry running back in time to actually save his mom, but then it changes everything and he loses his powers, but it causes a bunch of different effects in the world. So like Wonder Woman's at war with like Aquaman and Superman has been kept by the army and stuff like that. But I think they're gonna use that movie I don't think they'll do the exact, they might do the thing where Barry goes to save his mom, but it'll have a different effect where maybe they reboot the whole DCEU. But I think one thing I've heard is because DC has really good comic storylines, and if they maybe just instead of trying to do the connected thing, like they could still do it if they want, like now they have the Matt Reeves Batman where Robert Pattinson is playing Batman, and that's its own separate thing, and the Joker movie was its own separate thing. If you just keep doing one-offs like that, because Joker was brilliant, right? Like
Oh
one
yeah,
of the best movies, but it's separated from the whole, it's in it but it's separate. So like if you just keep doing one-offs like that and really go hard with the like the writing and the direction and making it its own thing and just a one-off, I think they could get back into everybody's good graces, but we'll see.
yeah, and I think they need to just focus on one version because
Mhm.
there's just too many Jokers. There's too many Batmans. There's just too many of different type of characters right now going on. So there's like
Mm.
the Ben Affleck. So they need to just pick one Batman to focus on and then just build off that instead of just build like recasting Batman and doing a different storyline. It's just too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's Jared Leto's Joker. There's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's just too many versions. Like
Yeah.
just, they need to focus on the one, and then I guess they could build off that because if they keep recasting, it's just like they're constantly going backwards. And I
I
think at this
yeah.
point, we've
Yeah.
heard Batman's origin stories enough.
We've seen it so like everybody knows. And I know it's like, hey, I want to do it my way. I get it, but like
Yeah.
it's we know it. And the same thing with Spider-Man and Uncle Ben. That's why the MCU didn't do it again. They just we knew it happened. It happened already. Like
Hmm.
when they had Tom. I agree with your point if they're doing the connection route thing, but if they're doing one-offs, then they would have to recast. They would have to keep recasting because then you're just doing like a one-off. This is this Joker movie,
Mm.
and then maybe somebody else comes later. But I think the one-off thing works. But then you don't have to keep doing Joker movies. Like that wouldn't make sense. You could do this character and this is their one-off, and this character, and maybe there's characters that overlap, and then you could have different casting and everything. But um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hope
Yeah.
they
We'll
just get
see.
better. Yeah. We'll never
Right.
know.
So today we were gonna talk about our dogs, but we could just go all in on the superheroes since we
We
were talking
could.
about this.
It's up to you because if we're already in nerdy things, we could do like it's up to you. Like, do you want to stay nerdy or do you want to go into the dog stuff? Because then we could like talk about other nerdy things like
I don't really
Godzilla
know too
versus
much nerdy
Kong.
stuff. I didn't watch that yet,
Oh,
so
you
I
didn't watch it
couldn't
yet?
talk
Okay, so
about
I
it.
can't say
Yeah,
much.
I
Okay.
also didn't watch the other movies. I think I watched the first Godzilla movie, but not the second one. But yeah, there's not a lot of
It's up to
nerdy
you.
stuff.
Because like we
I
could
think
change
our
topics.
crossover is I think our crossover comes it's like Marvel, a little bit of
Yes.
DC, but I'm more of an anime person, more and
Right.
then you are like everything else essentially. So
Everything comic book and everything. I was anime though too. I just fell off for whatever reason, but I'll always love like Dragon Ball Z till the end. I just haven't watched any of the new anime stuff for
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, but I'll play the game. Like the last Dragon Ball Z game I got was Fighter Z.
Oh, I tried
For
that. Oh,
yeah.
isn't wait, is that newer than Kakarot or
Oh
is
no, I lied.
Kakarot the
Oh wait, Kakarot is newer, but I got Fighter Z after. That's what it is.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I
I
I
tried Kakarot. I hate fighting games, so I refunded that.
well, Kakarot is it's more
The
it's
RPG,
RPG. Then you have the
you
fights
get
though.
into
Yeah,
engagements and then the fight, but you
yeah,
still need to know all the combos and stuff.
yeah.
I can't do that.
I will say Kakarot was like really, even though I enjoyed going through like the details of the story, because I would say it's more like about, it's about Goku, yes, but they really do a lot of Gohan stuff too. But I'm just realizing that Dragon Ball Z was mostly like, at least up to the Cell Saga, really Gohan story, like how he
Yeah,
evolves
I
and
think
everything, and
we had a friend back in high school. He kept saying Gohan should have been was supposed to be the strongest, but
yeah,
and Dragon Ball Z should have been like his progression story, but
right.
they scrapped that idea after Cell Saga and just made it Goku. So
Well,
you can't.
that's what they were literally doing. Like that's what Kakarot reminded me, because I don't think I've actually. I
But
know I've
Kakarot
watched.
it follows Dragon Ball Z to the teeth. Like it's literally Dragon Ball Z story. And I think
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's a TikTok um that shows the scenes in Dragon Ball Z and the scene in Kakarot.
Hmm.
And it's like literally identical, which
Yeah,
is
they
obviously
did shot for
graphic.
shot.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we don't have much beyond Marvel and DC in terms of geeking out because I don't follow anything else really anymore.
Yeah.
It's just the universes are too big and I can honestly not bother anymore. It's just too much for my brain. I don't know how you keep all this information in your head. It's just insane to me.
What's that Thanos line? He's like, "You're not the only one cursed with knowledge." That's what he said with Iron Man. So I was like, "Cursed with the." That's not a curse. I just, there's a bunch of details.
I'm making that face because I don't remember that line, but
That's true.
and I guess that's your curse. You just
He says it to Iron Man in Infinity War when they're facing off, just before he stabs him, or it's as he's stabbing him. I can't remember exactly when.
in the other planet, right?
On the other
I
planet,
don't
on
know.
Titan.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, I'm a nerd. So he but what was I gonna, oh, I think it's just because it's the stuff I love. Like there's certain things, like I was just taking in like a bunch of calc stuff and math stuff that we learned. I, for the life of me, I would have to start doing it again. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, me too. I won't remember the hell.
I just I don't remember it. But this, like, I could pull up comic book stuff that I read maybe once over and remember it, and certain storylines and through lines and everything. And I'm good with the
Yeah,
characters' names and stuff, even though I was forgetting
yeah.
stuff earlier.
I've noticed that about
Right?
you.
You noticed
It's
it,
just
right?
yeah,
Just a little bit. But like I think it's just because it's the stuff I love. So that's why I remember it. But
yeah.
I've fallen off, like because it's like expanding so much. Like I haven't read a comic in so long. There was a point in like university where my friend Antonio, he was giving me comic books and just like lending me comic books for like all the comic books he's had. So that's when I kind of like got back into it and was reading storylines. Like I read the whole um Civil War thing, like the actual comic, like all the tie-ins too, and then all of Ultimate Spider-Man I was able to read, and then like stuff like that. So then that's when I kind of dipped back in, but then now, and then also read some other comic book stuff that wasn't Marvel or DC. So like Sega, which I want to go back and finish because I didn't finish, and that was really good. And Why the Last Man, I finished the whole thing. So a bunch of like nerdy stuff, but yeah, it's just the stuff I love. But we have some overlaps, like the anime, I guess. And then, eh.
I don't know. I only read manga sometimes, so it's
I
not.
haven't read a manga in so long. I've not.
I used to read. So I'm pretty caught up in One Piece, but
Mm,
they come out so slow that I just don't bother reading. So I take breaks, and then there's like 30 chapters which you finish in like 10-15 minutes if you're fast enough. And then you just gotta wait another like 6 months to get the 30 chapters again. So it's a long wait sometimes. So I just don't like waiting. So I'll
hmm.
just forget about it and then come back to it later. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I haven't read those. Maybe I don't think I've read like a bunch though. I think I maybe read like a Naruto one and then a Dragon Ball Z one, and then that was it for manga. But like One Piece, do you remember because like Saturday cartoons, you remember 4 Kids TV?
Yeah.
So
Ah,
that's
God.
yeah, that's how I watched like One
Yeah, but that
Piece.
was a bad One Piece.
Well,
That
that's all I've seen
actually,
of One Piece though.
4 Kids TV made me hate One Piece. I actually
Oh,
hated One
seriously?
Piece when I first watched it because
I
it was
loved One
so
Piece when I was watching it.
garbage. And then I watched it afterwards,
Yeah.
when it was no longer 4 Kids, and I watched it with the actual Japanese subs and everything.
Oh,
That's
okay.
when I was like, oh, this is a good anime. So I read like a 900 chapters, just just killed myself through
Wow.
it, and then yeah, so it's something. And then I met some friends who were really into it, so then we just started, we created a group on Facebook to talk about it.
Hmm.
um that kind of dropped off because I guess we got older and just people stopped using Facebook too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a grind to read that. I'm not gonna watch it because like 900 episodes is not really worth my
Well,
time.
that's the hardest thing for me too. Like with even getting back into the comics, but me getting back into anime is like I may go and pick up a game. It sucks that that Jump Force game sucked because it was a tie-in with all of them, like all
Yeah.
the different characters from the different animes and stuff. And I was hyped when I was seeing it, and then people showed gameplay, and there was like cut scenes where the characters' mouths weren't even moving. They just didn't finish animating it. It was just like they literally just did it for the cash grab. They're like, oh, it's the 50th anniversary. I think it was 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump, or
Yeah.
whichever. So they're like, let's do the cash grab. And I was just like, I was hyped. I was like, what? I could make Goku fight Naruto? And then I didn't end up getting it because
Yeah.
it was
It was
trash.
like a typical fighting game, which, like I said, I hate fighting games. I can't do it.
Mm,
So I didn't even bother. I saw it and I was like, ooh, but then I found it's a fighting game. Most anime games are just typical fighting games.
mhm.
Um, so I've never gotten into it. So not a not a big fan of that. But
Yeah, fighting games
I
for
know
me
what you
is
mean.
yeah, like fighting games
Well,
for me is.
actually,
Oh, sorry. Go go.
no, I was gonna say actually, you last time we met up, which was like months ago,
Oh yeah.
I found out you actually played fighting games and you're actually pretty good at it. I was like, what the hell?
I'm okay. I was whooping Tejas, and then me and Richard were kind of even, but then he whooped me, and then but like if I could get into a groove. I wouldn't say like I'm a pro because I remember
Oh no, I wouldn't say you're pro. Like pros, like I've seen some of the fighting. Oh my god, what the hell is going
no,
on? Like,
there's people that just know people backwards and forwards, and I always have to like I don't play them enough where I would always have to go to the menu to remember what like because we were playing Mortal Kombat that day, and I would always have to go to the menu to look up their combos. Otherwise, I'm just like I'm pressing and testing. I was like, oh, that does that? Okay, okay. But there was one time where I think it was the last Batman Arkham game coming up, so Arkham Knight, and we were like when EB Games. So this was years back, way before the pandemic. When they were doing like the like midnight launch of the game,
right.
and they were doing like an Injustice tournament. I can't remember if it was one or two, and they were selecting. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll play. And they were like, you have to hit random to select your character, and I ended up getting Superman. So then everybody was like, "Oh, Dante, you're gonna go because you got Superman." And I was just like, "Yeah, yeah." And then the other guy, I can't remember who he got, but he mopped the floor with me. It was bad. Like I don't even think I think I got maybe a few hits in. I couldn't even do any combos, use any powers. And he was just like, "This is a joke." He's like, "You got Superman?" Beat me. I was like, "No." I got whooped. But I like talking smack though, so that's the thing. If I'm beating somebody, oh, I like talking smack. I like talking
No,
smack.
I don't talk. I'm not a big smack talker
Oh no,
because
I,
then
I
you
yeah.
look bad if you lose too. So then it's like,
No,
oh
that's true,
man.
but I'll still do it. I know I look bad if I lose, but I'll still do it. Like I'll still talk smack. Like yeah. I was just about to say something, but I was just like, no, that's a spoiler for something. So no, I'm not gonna say the thing I was about to say. But eventually I'll be able to say the thing that I wanted to say there, and we'll jump off the ledge to it, or maybe it'll be on the topic, and then yeah. But
Yeah. All right. So I think we've talked enough about superheroes.
yes.
Uh, so
Let's go.
today we were gonna talk about our dogs,
Hmm.
and pets, I guess, and just kind of go over like how we got them, how we, how we're dealing with them, how we've dealt with them in their young age.
Yeah.
So you got your dog like in 2010, 2009,
No, 2020. No, no, you're right. Because
2010.
I just had to think about it. You got it right off the bat. Yeah. Because yeah, uh she's gonna be 11 this the 30th of this month. So yeah,
Oh,
Latifa.
okay.
Yeah. So April 30th birthday. So I got her when she was. So I'll tell like how I got her and everything. So we got her when she was 3 months. The day we got her, we weren't expecting to like get a dog. Speak of the devil just coming up here to yell at me. Um, we weren't expecting to get. Oh, do you want to guest star, T? You're distracting me. You want to guest star? You come up. Okay, but we got her on. Like we weren't expecting to get a dog. There she is. Say hi, T. Say hi to the podcast. Say hi.
How did
Okay,
you
don't
go?
say hi. Say hi to Ricky. Say hi. Do you see him?
Uh,
Okay. Don't I? You know I don't like you.
He's too occupied with your face.
But so we weren't expecting to get a dog. I think we were at Markville Mall, and this was back when, because in 2010 it was still where they had dogs in like the stores. Do you remember that there was a whole thing where they just stopped showing dogs in stores, like at pet stores?
Like the PJ? No, I swear I still see them.
No, there was a point. Well, I don't know if it's changed again, but there was a point like after we got her where I could never like, because before we got her, I always like whenever we were passing by a pet store, I would always go look at the dogs because I knew like eventually that's something I wanted. But there was a point where they just stopped having Tiva, stop! Tiva! Lativa! 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 There you go. But there was a point where they stopped having the dogs in stores. And you couldn't see them anymore. So there's just like cats, rabbits, and stuff. But back to her, back on the ledge. So she like we weren't expecting to get a dog, and we just went to look in like the dog store. So just look at the dogs and everything. And
Mhm.
every other dog, because they had them like on a wall, in like these glass
Yeah.
pieces or whatever it is. That's a weird way to say it, but so every other dog was wilding, barking, going crazy, jumping up and down, trying to get attention, and she was the only one staying still. So that caught my attention, and then we locked eyes. And when we locked eyes, kind of looked to my dad. I was like, kind of want to. And we had no plan to get a dog. Like I mean, like right at that moment, we've always wanted one, but had no plan.
Yeah.
And she just locked eyes and she wouldn't let go. Like she kept staring at me, and I think it was just like divine intervention or whatever. And then we ended up going home with the dog that day, and she licked my hand like the whole way home, like because I think she likes like lotion, like if you have like lotion on or whatever, or just like the
Yeah.
smell of it or the taste. So licked my hand the whole way home, and then it was when my parents were still together. So my mom goes, because she heard it, and she comes downstairs. She's like, "You got a dog, didn't you?" We're like, "Yes." Yes, we did. And then she's been my best friend ever since, man. It's just like,
Well, I didn't know you got it from. First of all, when we found out you had a dog, it was surprising to say
yeah,
the
because
least.
it
And we're
was
like, what? I guess it was surprising to you too.
right, because we weren't
But
expecting
I
it.
didn't know you got it from a pet store actually.
Well, yeah, yeah, we just weren't expecting it, and we ended up getting her that day. Like we weren't
How did
expecting it at
your
all.
mom react to it?
She was fine though, like because
Okay.
it's always like because she was kind of like about it, but it's always I find the people that were about it end up loving them the most too. So then
Yeah.
it's just like it was like a matter. I don't even know if it was like a week or anything, but she like because like the one thing about my best bud over there is that she's so like loving, like she loves everybody. She's so loving and everything.
Mhm.
Like if she's like lying, like she'll come to snuggle. Like if I'm sitting on the couch, she'll come to snuggle by me or sit beside me. She always has to be like kind of touching somebody if she's lying down sometimes. Right now she's just in her bed, but it's just like
Mhm.
she's so loving. So it's hard not to love. And she's so well tempered. So like she doesn't go crazy. So she doesn't like in the store, she doesn't bark. Now she only barks when she's like, "Hey, I'm hungry. I want something."
Yeah.
Or then she'll get like she does this weird thing where she gets tough. Like if there's dogs outside, because like have you seen? I think it's a TikTok where there's two dogs across the street and they're going crazy and they're barking at each other, and then one dog's like, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, my name's Bob or whatever. He's like, hey, F you, Bob. And he's like, yeah, F you, F you. It's just like, that's what dogs do. They're just yelling at each other. So I think that's what she does. Like when she sees a dog outside, because our neighbor just got a dog.
Okay.
Like a few months ago, and now he's like really big. But every time they're like coming up the stairs with him, she just goes and just starts barking crazy. I'm like, you're barking like you're tough, but you don't have hands, Teeth. I will never put you in that situation. So we don't know. You can't bark like that. And then what if like, I don't know. But what about you? Because you actually have two. So like,
Yeah.
what about you?
So my first dog, Nico, is
Mhm.
a lab husky mix.
Mhm.
So I didn't get him, but my sister went and picked him up.
Yeah.
And the reason we got him was because my mom was super against the dog
Yeah.
for years and years. And then one time we asked her and she said yes. So within 2 days, I think we went out and just got a dog before she could change her mind. Because
Right. Exactly.
and she can't say, well, if she gets mad at us, we just said, well, you said we could. So, so my sister was on Kijiji and she found someone a posting, and so she went and visited them. So Nico was a part of a litter that they think they left at a barn to die, and
Oh.
someone happened to find them. So, like a few days later, I guess. So they were
Yeah.
pretty good. They were only a few months old. And my sister told me that the reason she chose Nico was she was playing with the other dogs and trying to get a feel, just like you're just trying to see which dog is gonna have a connection with you.
Yeah.
So she played with Nico, and then she pushed him aside so that she could play with another dog. But Nico was stubborn and pushed the other dog out, and so that she could keep playing with him. And at that point, she's like, "Well, it has to be like this one wants to come with me." So they
It
ended
has
up
to be him.
keep picking her. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was, man, Nico was a pain in the ass at first, to be honest, because so he's a pretty big dog,
Yeah.
like probably up to my knee, and yeah,
That
at
means he's
first he
above
was
my knee. Right? I remember he's huge.
he's pretty tall. If you were
Yeah.
to like go on his back two legs, he'd probably be as tall as I am.
Wow.
But he's was tough. I remember dealing with
Mhm.
because he's a big dog, so he's really strong. He's 80 pounds now, I think.
80.
So,
Jeez.
but back then he was like tiny. First of all, he was like about this big.
Yeah.
But he got bigger, obviously,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just that was a. I'll talk about how we raised him and everything. It was just I remember having a lot of troubles because it was also my first dog, and
Right.
Latif was your first dog too, right?
First dog. Yeah. First dog. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go through like the troubles and everything.
Yeah.
But I do have a second dog that we got 2 years ago. Um, 3 years ago, maybe now. So
Mhm.
no, it must have been 2 years ago. So she's 2 years and 2.5 now, I guess. She's a pug, a little black pug. So there's a huge
Mhm.
contrast compared to what Nico
Yeah.
was and what Coca is. So same thing. We were, I think, because my sister moved out, she took Nico with her. So we were kind of without a dog for about a year and a half in the house.
Mhm.
Um, and I wanted to get another dog, not mainly for myself, but for my parents, so that they had something to look after, something to kind
Mhm.
of care for. And we thought we were thinking about getting like a Dachshund or something calm. And pugs are generally calm. So we went and I
Yeah.
found a pug online on Kijiji. And again, my sister went to go pick her up because they were in the same area she was in. So it just saved me time.
Right.
And turns out she was like the most energetic dog. She was the last one of her litter there. But she was very energetic and playing with her mom quite a bit.
Mhm.
So they brought her home. And at the time, I was dog sitting for my friend, which is a corgi, and they did not get along because she was so young. She was just super energetic and just running around. But the corgi was like not having it. He was like, nah, calm down, Uh, and then like eventually they got better because it was funny because you could see like Corgi is not that much bigger, probably the same size as Latifah now,
Mhm.
but he was so strong compared to what Coco was at like 2 months. But Coco was fearless. She was had no problems playing with bigger dogs.
Yeah.
Because my sister picked her up first. Coco met Nico and their other dog Thor.
Oh, okay.
Um, and Thor and Coco are like, if they're together, they're inseparable. They play together.
Wow.
And Thor is about, I think you've seen Thor, maybe. He's the
I
same
don't.
size as Nico. He's the black dog.
I don't actually. Maybe I haven't. I just don't remember. But is he like the same kind of breed like Nico, or is he different?
A different breed, I think, but he's about the same size.
Oh, okay.
And I can go into his story a little bit more because he is a pretty interesting backstory, his
Okay.
origin story. But yeah, she will play with Thor like crazy. So it's interesting because she's so small, but Thor's so
Mhm.
big. So she just goes in between his legs and everything, and just they like they're like rolling around and everything. It's just funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, once we got Coca, she's still a crazy mess. Honestly, she's just so much work because she's always running, always so full of energy. Honestly, I don't know how. She's slowing down now because she's getting older, but
Right.
man,
Yeah.
so much energy.
The
Actually,
yeah.
we got so a few weeks into getting Coca,
Mhm.
the the original seller messaged us to ask her to buy her back. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, because they
Were they
were
offering more than what you paid?
a little
Or
bit more, but I ended up paying for like the vet needles and anything. And if I really wanted to sell it, I could probably just tell her like I paid for this, so the minimum I would take is
this?
this
Yeah.
amount,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it was they. So like I said, she had the Coca's mom and Coca for a few months, right? 6 months, which is longer than normal, and so they probably bonded with Coca a lot, and but for some reason they still wanted to sell her. So they when we got her, I guess they messaged my sister saying, "Oh, we miss her. How is she? Would you want we want her back, you know?" And I was so thrown. I was like, "What the hell? This is
Mm.
so weird."
That is odd. Like, why would you, if you knew you wanted them or didn't want to let them go, but maybe something happened and they just changed their mind? But that's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Or
Because, like, what if
like
they're like, no, they're gonna say yes because we offered more, right? But then you're like, well, no, I bonded
yeah,
with the
I don't
dog a
think
bit.
I think
Yeah.
it was just that they bonded with her so much and it just the dynamics in the house might have felt weird
Yeah.
without her.
Hmm.
But it didn't seem to take it too hard, but I was kind of worried like are they gonna constantly pester us to get her back?
Right.
Like
Right. 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 Right.
so then I told my sister just say no and then if they ever message back, just ignore it. Like what's done
Yeah.
is done, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's kind of rude to it's like me, you got Latifah, but it's like can I have her back? Because you know
No, fam, I love her. What are you talking
yeah,
about,
yeah,
bro?
right. It's like
Nah. What are you gonna take my best friend? Are you crazy, bro? But what I was gonna ask you is because I'll say like the reason for her name, but like what was the reason for like Nico's name and Coco's name?
oh, okay. So I'm Chinese, and my parents they don't speak fluent English, so we
Mhm.
had to pick a name that didn't have an LR sound, so that it's easy for them to say.
Ah, okay.
And so for Nico, we're just coming up with random names. I really wanted to name him Snorlax. My
Oh.
sister did not, so I said fine. And I
Fine.
think my mom, my mom might have said Nico, and we said, okay, sure, because she said it. You know, we'll just name him Nico. For Coca, we were having a hard time. So
Mhm.
I wanted to name her. So one of the names we came up with Coco Chanel, which my girlfriend
Oh,
came up with, just
okay.
like the luxury brand, because she was
Yeah.
black. So we just wanted to name her Coco,
Yeah.
but then my sister didn't like that, so and then we came up with coca because coca plant is the plant for cocaine because she
What?
was so yeah
What?
Coca is a plant that's used
I
to
did
make
not see that
cocaine.
coming. I didn't see cocaine coming, so I was just like, what? What did you
It's
say?
true. So coca plant, according to my sister, is used to make cocaine.
Mm.
And because cocaine makes you so energized and so like you have a lot of energy, we thought it
Ah,
was a
okay.
good name because she's just a ball of energy. Like
Right,
she's
right, right,
always
right.
on cocaine or something. So yeah, that's how we came up with Coca. How did you guys come up with Latifa?
So Latifah was, well, I actually wanted, because when we got her, that's when I was watching, I think Boondocks was still on. So I wanted to name her Riley, actually, after Riley. So that was the name in my head. I wanted to name her Riley. We were calling her, I think we were calling her, no, because my dad said, why don't we name her, like we were just going through names and he's like, why don't we do Latifah? But like as a, like he was joking. He's like, why don't we do Latifah? And we're like, what if we do, and then I don't think we said yes right away. We sat with it. So then we were taking her out like and stuff, like to different places. They're like, oh, what's her name? And we're like, L. We're just calling her L right now. Like we don't know yet. And then Latifah, for whatever reason, stuck. And I think still to this day, she's the only dog ever with the name Latifah. Because like every time I go to tell people the name, I'm like, you're gonna laugh when I say the name and then say Latifah. But I'm like, now it's just like she deserves it, man. She's a queen, just like Queen Latifah, the legend. So yeah, that's her name, and I love it. And then now I call her like Teef. Used to be Tifa, but now I just like Teef. Not when I, as you saw earlier, when I was yelling at her. When I'm like yelling, it's Latifah. But any other time, it's like Teef.
Yeah, and I always call like my dogs like baby because no matter how old they are, they're always gonna be a baby to me.
Yeah,
Just because sometimes they just act like it too. Like they're always
yeah,
whiny sometimes, so it's like you're just acting like a baby.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't.
No, that's my little girl, man. That's my kid, bro. That's my
Yeah,
that's my child. Even though she's gonna be 77, or 77 in human years, 11 in dog years.
yeah, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what? No, 11 in what? 11
Yeah,
in
77 in
human.
human years.
Is that the way that it works? Isn't it
Yeah, because
11 in
one
human
dog year
years
is
and
equals.
77 in dog?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no,
Sorry,
no,
it's
no. It
reversed.
is right. It's reversed. Never mind. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
But but yeah, yeah. But sorry, you were
And
saying.
no, I was gonna say like we've had our dogs for so long now, man. It's
Yeah.
just. Do you think you're ever gonna get another dog or another pet? Let's say.
I thought about this. My dad just got some fish, so but I was like, fish are so self-sufficient. I don't really see it as a, it's like a whole,
They're
oh
actually
hey, that's a
not,
pet.
man. I
Oh
had
shoot,
a
did I feed them?
fish.
I gotta feed them after this. So but I gotta feed the fish after this. But I, because I know how much work a puppy is, because I always think about that. But now that I'm here home with her all day, it's a little bit different. But like when like back when the world was open, where you were away for her quite a bit and then she's sitting there at home alone, then I was like, maybe she needs a friend. But like even with working from home, like a puppy right now would be so much more on the plate. Like
Mhm.
I think uh Tifa's gonna live forever, so I'm not gonna even think about this. But maybe down the road, right? Maybe another pet, like just like one at a time. I don't know if I could do two. Like I thought about it. I don't know if I could do two at a time, but I've always thought about it. But what about you? Have you considered? Because well, this is
Yeah,
technically two for you, right? Like
yeah, but I technically don't have any pets.
right now you don't have,
Unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah, because Coco's living with my parents, and my sister has Nico.
Yeah.
But I think maybe not in a condo, but when if I move out, I want to get another dog. And so I know Latifah's a mix, right, of a poodle and a pug.
Oh yes. Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna mention what her mix is. Sorry, she's a beagle and pug mix, so a puggle.
Eagle.
Beagle,
Okay.
beagle. You remember the movie Cats versus Dogs? Do you remember that movie? It was a kids movie where the dogs
Uh,
were spies. Um, the dogs,
honestly, I can't
like
remember.
they could talk. So like whenever the humans were gone, like the dogs would talk. It was horrible animation. If you try to go back and watch it now, but the main dog in that's the other half of Latifah.
The
So that's a
beagle.
beagle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the beagle is
But
the other half.
does she shed then?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes,
because
she
that's
shed.
yeah. I was
Oh
gonna
boy.
say that like when we were looking for a second dog,
Hmm.
um, we were trying to find something that doesn't shed.
Hmm.
Um, but we went with a pug because pugs shed, but their fur is so tight and it's so short they might not notice it, right? It's like
Yeah.
if I were to rip off some of my eyebrows or whatever. Um, she shed so much. And Nico, oh man, my parents did not like Nico because he shedded
A lot.
like
Yeah.
holy crap.
Yeah, like
You
the
run
bigger
your hands through and it's your hands are furry.
like the bigger dogs, yeah. But like for Latifa, I don't think it's long, but it's long enough that you notice it. And then she's beige. So it's like we're like right now I know I have hair on me. So like no matter what, I think I don't know whenever like I don't know whenever there's gonna be a point where I don't have like dog hair on me. I don't mind it. But
Yeah.
like because like my mom and my brother have a dog named Esco, and he's a I think he's a Shih Tzu and something else. But or just a straight Shih Tzu. But he doesn't shed, so he has long hair. But then you have to deal with that, like the grooming stuff and always cutting
Yeah.
it. So it's just like it's a catch 22 either way. You're dealing with something with hair with them no matter what, or
Yeah.
fur with them no matter what. But yeah.
Yeah, but I think if I were to get another dog, I'd probably get something that doesn't shed just so that it's honestly, I think grooming is better than
Yeah, I
vacuuming
can see.
all the
Yeah.
time and like lint rolling. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'll probably get a mix, if anything, just so that I can get the breed that I still want, but
Yeah.
not deal with all that shit.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's like because I always like we're like, why would you get a Roomba? That's dumb. But then it's like maybe I should get a Roomba because
Oh no, we got a Roomba
you have a
because
Roomba? How is
yeah, we
that?
got one.
Is it lit?
So we didn't get anything like too advanced. We got like probably one of the more basic ones where it just it hits a wall, it turns. It hits a wall, it turns.
Mm.
It's lit. I'll tell you that. If you have a dog, that shit is lit. Oh my god.
I've been thinking. I'm just like maybe I should just do it. But there's like $500, right, or something.
Well, if you get like I think we got ours for like 300. We got
Oh,
one
okay.
that honestly like has nothing, no phone connectivity, none of that smart crap. It's just a hit the wall, it turns, hit the wall, it turns, and it just cleans up. And then like after a while, it goes back to its stock, and you say, okay, you're good then.
You know what?
Um,
I'm like, I don't want to do that, the expenditure, but this is me jumping off the ledge. Um, there's this Iron Man helmet that's mechanical, and you could speak to it and tell it to close, and then tell it to open it and tell it to power
yeah.
up. But it's like $415, and shipping would make it 500. And I had it in my cart yesterday. I'm
Oh
like,
man.
I'll do that. I'll just go and buy that. But then I'm like, a Roomba that makes sense. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, if you get the Roomba that's like the with the smart connectivity and all that stuff, you can just it's probably better anyways, and you can just control it from wherever you are. Because I know there's one where you can draw the path that you want it to go,
Ooh.
and then it sends it, and then you can tell it to send it back after the path. With that, like so, I don't know how they get the layout of the house. Maybe you do a scan or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Roomba does like it just does a tracking, so it just tracks all the places and then it
Mhm.
has like a general idea of how it looks. But yeah, if you get that, man, it'll save your life, man. It'll be it's gonna be life changing to you.
Yeah, because like it'd be probably so much easier with her hair and everything there that like I could because that shedding thing doesn't stop, bro, and it like just piles up, and it's just like even like I think the vacuum that we have now, it just like it's all her hair. It's basically all her
Yeah,
hair and stuff like
basic.
that's caught up in it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the
Yeah,
that's the stuff.
I'll tell you now, Roomba, get that. If you got a dog that sheds, a Roomba will save you so much time. It's like you don't even have to think about it. It's kind of loud, but
Mhm.
is Latifa on one floor only, or like
No,
she's
so
on
like
multiple floors?
this house is like a split bi-level. So there's like the main living room, and I guess I'll call where I am right now the family room. And so mostly she's up on the living room because that's where
Yeah.
she sleeps when because her shedding is like why I don't have her like sleep in my room, but also because she's like a scavenger, so she'll just hunt everything. So she'll touch all my stuff, break all my stuff. So like that's why
Yeah.
she's also like in her own bed, but like she has the whole floor to herself, except for like we block off the kitchen. So I think I would move it from uh because you could pick it up, or does it have to stay on one floor? You can move it, right? Like move it
You
to
can
different
move
floors.
it. You can move
Yeah,
it. It's just so in my parents' house, that's where we have the room, but I don't have one here.
yeah.
Um, we keep it on the main level because the top floor is just one hallway that she can go to.
Hmm.
Um, and the stairs are just honestly just vacuum because that's a pain in the ass because you can't Roomba that obviously. So we just let it do its thing in the main floor. Yeah, so it's just one floor, one gigantic floor, and sometimes it might not get everything because, well, ours might not because we can't tell it to go where it needs to go. So
Oh, okay.
it's just kind of blind shot and
Yeah.
just does what it does. But yeah, if you can move it, it's just if you keep it on like one floor, it's easier because then you know that floor is gonna have most of her hair.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
just leave it on that floor too. So
Yeah. I think that's where I would end up putting it, so it just stays there. But maybe I'll look into that. I'll look into the room bus. I'll look into the room bus. Well, I had this list thingy because we're because the my watch just rang, so we're like at an hour, so maybe we'll like end with this. But this list thingy of this BuzzFeed article of 35 weird things every dog owner has secretly done. So maybe we'll just
yeah,
like I'll just like quickly scan and pick like a favorite because we kind of touched on like call your dog by nickname. So like mine was like Tifa and Tifa or Teef for her. And then what about like this
I
Coca?
don't think we really have any
Mhm.
nicknames. It's just Coca or Nico, or I'll just call her baby, or like that's it. Really, I don't make up too many names. I know my sister does. So she'll
Right.
call Coca like Coquita, um, but not Nico.
And Nico.
I don't think Nico has any
You know what I was gonna
names.
ask you too? Like if Nico was after, because I know you said there wasn't supposed to be certain letters, but like was it like Nico Bellic from GTA 4?
No,
That's all, I don't know why that popped in my head. I was just like, oh, maybe Ricky really liked GTA 4 and he really liked Nico.
I didn't come up with the name. My mom just said it, so we are like, "Oh, we'll go with
Oh,
that
seriously?
then."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, then maybe
yeah.
your mom really liked GTA 4. I'm joking. Another one here is lie on the floor and see what they would do if you fainted. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah. I've tried. It's not good. They just kind of Coca just steps on me first of all. She just because she's so small, she just steps on my chest and
Yeah.
just all fours just right on top of me. Nico just comes and sniffs me and then goes and lays down. Doesn't do much.
Tifa, I don't think she did anything either when I've done it, but I think I was like too dramatic with it too. So I'd be like, oh, and then I would fall. But I think because I do like really dumb things around her, she just doesn't put up with me sometimes. It's just like, oh, he's just being dumb again. It's just like I'll sing to her, I'll dance, and then everything with her, and she's just like, and she'll just stare at me. She used to do this thing a lot more that she doesn't do as much, but she'll tilt her head. She's like, what are you doing? Like she'll just like, huh?
Yeah.
And then so she doesn't do it as much. So like I've always been trying to get her to do it again. So try to do something crazy enough. So she'll be like, what? But like she hasn't done that as much. And then let's see what else here. Oh, another thing, like maybe off the list, but like with while walking your dog, have you had any like weird, awkward situations like walking with other dogs, or do you let your dog play with other dogs or stuff like that?
Um, I don't like playing with other dogs because
Hmm.
I don't know how well trained the other dog is.
Right.
So if I just don't want to be like getting into the middle of it. So with Nico, I'm a little bit more lenient because
Mhm.
he's the bigger dog. He can handle himself. With Coca, she's so small that I feel like I treat her more fragile
Right.
than Nico. So I think that's the thing that changed between me um, when I had Nico and when I had Coca, because Nico was big. He could do his own thing. He
Right. Yeah.
could fend for himself. Like
Yeah.
I've seen videos of like a bird swooping down, picking up a dog, and just that's it. I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
yeah.
that's scary, man. But I know Nico. I can barely pick up Nico. He's 80 pounds, man. What kind
The
of
bird's
bird's
gonna have a
coming along?
long day.
The bird either gonna be dead or he's not gonna even try. So with Coca, I'm a little bit more cautious.
Yeah,
But Coca is just so eager and so like she loves meeting other dogs and other people.
yeah,
She's always trying to pull me to go to the other dog, but she's tiny, so honestly, she's not gonna pull me anywhere. Whereas Nico, he's more let's focus. I don't really want to talk to the other dogs really because uh, I don't know. He has like a alpha mentality. So whenever we took him to
mm.
the dog park, he would always mount other dogs,
Oh
even
wow.
and just kind of like show that he's the dominant one, right? And he did it so much that at a certain point, other dogs didn't want to play with him.
Oh wow.
So, and then he just didn't want to. And we would always tell him, like, go socialize, go be a dog. But he would always just kind of stand around and look and just kind of walk around. So he stopped socializing, even though we give him an opportunity to. Whereas Coca, she will she will walk out of the dog park with someone else just because they're leaving, and I have to go chase after her. And I'm like, what the hell? You're just gonna walk off? But yeah, sometimes she just runs around, honestly, doing whatever she wants to do. And I'm a little bit more cautious, like I said, because she's so much smaller. I'm worried someone's gonna pick her up and just walk away,
Right. Yeah.
or she's
Yeah.
gonna. She has no problems playing with bigger dogs, so I'm scared she's gonna get trampled on, or she's gonna just get like piss off the wrong dog. So
Yeah.
I'm always keeping an eye on her. But yeah, dog walking. I don't like letting them, like I said, interact when they're on a leash
Yeah.
because there was one time where I got tangled up with another
Yeah.
dog walker. I didn't get tangled. The dogs did, and the other dog walker did. Because
They're just like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
yeah, so I think this was when I used to use the leash that you ever used those leashes where they can extend and
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
the one I have for her now. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So I think that's when they got tangled because they would just do loops and whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's probably the worst that's ever happened. But after that, I just stopped letting them go off too far and sniffing other dogs too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to get tangled up.
Yeah, I don't keep her too far. Like sometimes I'll let it where because like you could put it where it restricts so it doesn't extend or let it go. So most of the time I'll just have it on where it's extending and let her go a bit and then I'll start to lock it if she's going too far. But like me, like I've actually never taken her to a dog park for like the same fear you have with Coca. It's just like I don't know what these other dogs are gonna do. So like with her, because I know she's playful and she'll just walk up to other dogs. But like I notice when we're on walks, if we run into another dog person, right, she'll start to sniff them, want to sniff them a bit, but then she'll get bored of it and kind of move back. So
Oh,
sometimes she's playing full, and then but also because she really knows how to use her body weight against me. So like if there's another dog behind us, for example, and she catches wind that there's another dog, then she'll just put her body weight on the ground and be like, "No, we're gonna wait for them."
oh.
And I'm like, I don't want to talk, like, because it's also me not wanting to always talk to somebody else. It's
Yeah.
like, the whole, oh, hey, how are you? How old are they? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't always want to do that. So sometimes, because like I find other people are like that too, though. So like sometimes you'll find people that'll just pull away. So you just go
Yeah, I
past and then
pull
just give them
away.
a nod.
Yeah.
And those are my favorite people. But then there's other people that I'm familiar with too that I've seen a bunch and I've seen their dogs a bunch. So then I'll always let her go to sniff them and we'll just do the quick, hey, how are you? Blah, 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 the small talk. But there
Yeah,
was this
no.
one time, do you remember that pathway? Um, I don't know if I want to
Oh, I
say.
think in between the two like enclaves or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving all the my address stuff. Like, the pathway, the place. But like there's a pathway, and there was one time where we were walking her. Actually, now I have two walking stories that just popped in my head. So one time we were walking her, and there was this big dog. I don't even know what type of dog it was, where the person would always have them off leash, and
Right.
this dog would be like, "Hey, there's another dog. I'm just gonna run towards it, like full sprint." But it looked like it wanted to attack Latifa. So the whole time I'm trying to hold her, and they're going in circles around me, and she's just trying to run away from it, and then the person would come up and be like, "Oh, hey, stop!" Blah 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 blah. I'm like, what if your dog tries to attack her or something? Like, it's just like
Yeah.
that's insane to me. Like, you can't have them off leash like that if they don't have control. Because like I've seen people who have them off leash and they won't leave their side no matter if there's a dog or
Yeah.
whatever. They'll just be like, "Hey, move," and then like, or not like that, but like they'll be like, "Come this way." And then another time, we were walking. So this is why I don't walk her anymore if the sun's down, because still in Ajax, for whatever reason, animals are out and about like out wild.
Right.
So I was changing music, so I was looking down at my phone, and we were turning the corner, and then I just noticed she stopped, and I look up, and there's a coyote, and I go, and I've never seen a coyote in real life, and I was like, oh, that's what they look like, huh? And it kind of looked at us, and then me and her, we started backing away, and then we bolted the other way, and we were just gone. I was just like, I don't want to mess with this thing. I don't know what it's gonna do to us. I'm not trying to fight a coyote right now. And we bolted. It didn't chase after us or anything. It really didn't want to bother with us. It just went over its own way. But now, because of like, I guess they start to wander as soon as the lights go down or whatever. I was just like, I'm not walking her unless the sun's out or it's cloudy and
Yeah.
it's daytime.
I feel like coyotes are such a big problem
Yeah.
where we are. Just like in all GTA and everything, because I
Yeah.
always get like notifications about it. It's kind of scary.
No, it's because it's just like, what if there's because like, what am I gonna do against a pack of coyotes, man? Like, I don't want to hurt them
Yeah.
either. That's the thing, though. It's just like I don't want to hurt, but then like I'm not gonna let them hurt her. So it's just like,
Yeah, it's like it's me or you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. But yeah, and I guess we'll do
No,
like
man. Whenever this quarantine is done, we'll go to a dog park because I think it's good for Latifah to get. Yeah.
Oh no, for sure.
She's
yeah.
also Latifah's really old though now, so
no,
she's gonna get really annoyed.
Yes, like, but I think she's still though, like, even though she's old, like, I'll notice things now where she can't move. Like, maybe when she jumps on the couch, maybe she'll have to try again because she doesn't get it the first time. Because she could still clear it. Or then like walking down the stairs, she doesn't go as fast, or up the stairs, she doesn't go as fast as she used to. But she still has a lot of energy. Like, she'll still bounce around and stuff. So I think she'll still be good. And then like it'd be nice for her to meet Coca, and maybe even if we get her to meet Nico as well too. Whatever.
Maybe
But,
not
like,
Nico.
Maybe not Nico.
No, it's not even that. It's just Nico's hard to get a hold of these days. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but we should go to a dog park because then Coca or Latifah gets to meet other dogs. And I think one of the things I got lucky with was my sister was a huge advocate of bringing Nico to the dog park. So I got to experience I got to see how other dogs react when and like I'm not scared if they come at her, come at Nico. And with Coca, I was a little bit scared, but
yeah,
I know that I mean, unless their dog was trained to kill, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, they like their playing looks rougher because that's how they play sometimes.
Yeah.
Too. So it's just like, but that's the thing that scares me too, right?
No,
like I don't want
to with bigger dogs, they don't. Bigger dogs won't play rough with smaller dogs unless the smaller dog lets them. Usually, the bigger dogs will go and play with the bigger dogs because they're looking for a challenge. They're not looking for easy prey.
Right. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mess you up. So you're not in my weight class.
Yeah, and then even if the smaller dog gets into the bigger dog's face, the bigger dog's gonna show like you're not gonna be able to do anything. So then the small dog learns, okay, that I'm not gonna mess with this guy because he's too big, So they'll go do their own thing. So yeah, it's not something to be afraid of, but I can see why like you're like a dog owner gets worried about that. So at the dog park, one of the things I absolutely dislike is when dogs play rough and it looks like they're fighting, but they're just playing. The worst thing is when another dog owner gets scared and tries to pull like my dog or someone else's dog off of their dog. Even though they're just playing. So it's like if you're scared of that, they're dogs first of all. They are self-sufficient, they'll kill. They can kill if they need to, they'll defend themselves. So like you probably shouldn't be too scared because they're pretty strong. They could kill us if they needed to. And
I know. I know. Like sometimes if she's like if she's not in the mood, right? Or if she's just like in a mood, like if I'm trying to like move her somewhere and she's lying down, sometimes she'll be like, she'll bite at, she's not trying to hurt me, but she'll just bite at me. There's been a time where she's bit me. I was just like, ow. Like I could see how if she went like lockjawed or something, like that would not be a good time. Like I could see that.
Oh,
So yeah.
Nico's done that to me.
Like bit you and
Oh
went
no,
lockjaw?
yeah. Yo, so
Oh.
I when he was young, like maybe a year, yeah, like under a year, he was like 6, 7 months. So he's like
Mhm,
still learning the ropes, right? And I
mhm.
take him on walks, and at this point he's probably like 40, 50 pounds. And he's just really stubborn. So like he wants to stay out longer. Um, and if he doesn't get his way, he gets mad. So at a certain point, I remember he was so pissed that he jumped and bit my arm, but he was just hanging there. So I would lift my arm and he's just hanging there. And I got so pissed. So,
Oh.
and like when I finally got him out, it's like I'm bleeding. Like it's
Yeah, well, yeah.
like bite marks with. So I'm pissed. And I think he can hear it in my tone. So like he knows I'm pissed. So I'm
Mhm.
taking him home immediately. The walk's cut, You want a
Yeah,
longer walking, it's done. Um, at a certain point, he just realized biting me, biting anyone is just not going to get him anywhere.
you're right.
Um, I remember the one thing I did do to make him mad was when he's when he was starting getting really mad and started biting people or biting me, I just put my hand in his mouth because I know he's not going to bite me with full force because if he bites me, he knows he's done. I
Mm.
would just put my hand in his mouth and I said, "Look, it's there now. Bite it. If you're really mad at me, bite it." And he's like, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, "What the hell?" Like,
Wow.
so I would grip his jaw like this, and I just let him. I tell him, if you want to bite, do it. You just have to go ahead and do it. He
Mhm.
wouldn't do it. So I know that he's not stupid. He's not gonna bite me because then, you know, I'm the one who feeds him. I'm the one who takes care of him.
Right.
He's not gonna bite the
Yeah.
hand that feeds him, right?
Right.
So
I think, yeah.
yeah, at a certain point, I think he realized probably shouldn't bite this guy. Probably shouldn't bite anyone because, and yeah, because he's a bigger dog. It's one of the things that you have to train them on.
Mhm.
Just how they behave around other people because
Right.
people are scared of bigger dogs. People are not scared of Coca because that little shit is zooming in and out, but she's tiny. You could kick her if she wanted to. You kick her, punch her, she won't bother you anymore. But with Nico, she'll kill. He's a little bit of a different beast, right? So
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, no man. I love her so much. Well, let's do one more maybe and then we'll go there. Let me
yeah,
just see here. Um, made a Say your dog made a friend today every time they spend more than 10 seconds with another dog. Have you ever, I don't think I've ever said that.
I don't think I don't think I've ever said that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't know. Some
I
of
don't
these
think,
things on this list, man, I just never done.
exactly. It's just like warm your hands on their belly and armpits.
No,
No.
that's a little bit gross.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
or their
there's
armpits.
one.
Like what?
Have you ever smelt your dog's paw before? There was something a few years ago where they're like, and maybe it was a vine. They're like, dog's paw smells so good. So I went and tried it, and
Steve, come
it's not that
here.
it smells bad. It's not even that it smells good. It's for some reason it's like tolerable. I don't know what it is. It's yeah, I don't know. It's weird, I guess. I've done it, so
You know I'm gonna do that right now, right? Like I'm gonna like, what? No, I don't think I've ever. No, I just
I saw it on
no.
a meme one time, and I was like, I wonder what that smells like.
Well, no, now you're making me wonder because I'm just like I've never done that. I've never smelt her. No, I've never randomly smelt her paw. I'll just be like, I could smell like around them, like you stink, and then we probably need to do a bath because I bathe her like
Oh yeah,
once a month. So
yeah.
yeah, but that's about it.
There's a number 20. I think that one is a relatable one to us.
Feel upset when your dog sits by someone else other than you. I actually, I don't get upset. I'm fine with it because I know I'm the one she bonded with. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I know we're best buds. Just like, I don't
But
mind
it's
it.
like a
Show love
form
to
of
other
betrayal,
people.
man.
No, it's not a betrayal.
I
I don't
remember
mind at all.
the one time I came over and she was all up on me, and you
Mhm.
tried to call her to come to you, and she just would not. She just
Oh,
like
well, then now I look like a liar and a fool. Maybe, well, because she does like when she meets new people, and I guess like if
yeah,
she likes that person, she'll want to stick to them. So maybe in the past but I guess like right now there's no other people for her to kind of lie by,
yeah.
right? So it's just
No, I think it's painful when someone comes over and obviously they're gonna show the other person love because it's a brand new person, brand new
right,
smell, everything, right?
brand new smell and everything,
It's
yeah.
just painful when you call them to come to you
And they're
and
like,
they just nah, it's good.
I got a new
I'm
friend now.
Gucci.
They're buying. I'm like, I feed you.
Yeah, no, I feel upset because my dog just runs away with someone. Eh, Like, it just what the hell?
You know
I'm
what?
so
Like,
worried. Yeah.
she used to break out the house, like back at our old house, and then maybe when we first moved in here, she used to try to break out like a lot. But I think it wasn't that hey she wanted to run away. It was more so hey chase me, like look this is fun. I'm running around the neighborhood. So she would break out. But I've noticed like because sometimes I would even like see if she would do it. Like if I had the door open, like now, like today, I'm not nervous. I know she'll look outside, but she's not. I think like even not her being older, she's like, I'm not gonna bolt out. He feed like this is where
No.
food is. This is where home is. I'm relaxed. And like if he wants to take me for a walk, then we'll go. Oh, I shouldn't say walk.
Ooh,
No, she's gonna
has
look up.
has she ever gotten off leash before? Wait, do you use a harness or a collar?
Harness, harness,
Harness,
harness when we're
okay. Have
walking.
you
Yeah.
always used a harness?
I think at first maybe for a little bit we had a collar, but I prefer because like if I have to pull on
Harness?
her, I don't like it pulling on her neck. So the harness is a little bit better for
Yeah,
that. But she has gotten off leash um like when we were walking. And she
yeah.
I think we were walking by your old place here, like on that street. So back when I was at my old house, we were walking there. And for whatever reason she got off like either I slipped out of my hand or something. And then she started bolting. I had to bolt
Yeah.
after her. And but then I caught her. She didn't go too far. But yeah, but your dogs have they gotten off leash? Have they
Yeah,
ran?
no, it's so funny when they're off leash because then you're chasing them and they think it's a game, so
Yes.
they're like trying to like break your ankles or something, and you're like just going back and forth. It's like what the heck?
You don't understand how dangerous this is. They're like, catch me, catch me, catch me. He's like, no, just just come back.
I'm like, just stay on the sidewalk, please. Don't run on the
Exactly.
road.
Don't bolt into the road. Just stay on the sidewalk. Just run straight.
And no, my dog's gotten off the leash. So we use a harness now,
Yeah.
but with Coca, but we used to use a collar.
Mhm.
I don't know how she did it, but she can squeeze her head out somehow of the collar, so I completely lose the entire thing, and she's bare and just running, and it's like, okay, I have to get you a harness because you
Yeah.
can squeeze out. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Like Latifa would do that too. Like if it's where she wants to go somewhere, she knows. Like if she starts pulling and moves her head a certain way,
A
I don't know
certain
if that's
angle, right? Yeah.
yeah, and she'll get out. There was an old harness we had where she just knew if she rolled on her back a certain way, she could get out of it. So there it was a harness, and she just knew because like for her, if there's something that like so like a harness like that, or if there's like a block, so like the door we have between the kitchen, so she doesn't get in there.
Mhm.
If she finds an exploit for breaking in, like we changed the gate once to try a different one, and she found an exploit for it, and she ever since then it's just like as soon as she knows she can do it, boom, she's gonna break it out. She's like, because
Yeah.
like I feel like they're always smarter than they let on. Like she knows
Yeah.
how to be sneaky and everything, but they're way smarter than they let on. But
Yeah. Funny thing with the door, Nico, he found so we closed the doors
mhm,
in the second level for the bedrooms. So
mhm.
that because he loves to go into bed and then just lay there while we're
Yeah,
away. We don't like it because he's shed so much, and so it's
right.
like a whole different bed when we get back.
Mhm.
Um, at one point, he learned how to open the doors because all our doors is just pull, like you
Oh, okay,
push
okay.
down and you just push forward.
Yeah.
So he knew that if he jumps, he swipes down and he pushes at the same time, it opens. And like we would find him in our room. We're like, what the heck? How did you get in here? I'm pretty sure. And
He's like, I
you
let
start to
myself in.
question. Yeah, you start to question your own mental. I was like, I'm pretty sure I closed the door, but maybe I didn't. And so you do it again, and he's there, and he's like, no, I for sure closed the door this time.
I wanted to see what you guys were doing, man. What are you up to?
Yeah,
Why am
no,
I
but
not
we're
here?
not home. He's
Oh, oh.
we're at work or like school, and then we come back and he's in there, and like, what the heck? I'm pretty sure I closed the door though.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
we had to
like,
start locking the doors
yeah.
when no one's in there. So we have to unlock it to even go back to our own room, which is like, damn.
I don't, she's not tall enough to reach them, but I figured like if she could figure that out and if she was tall enough, she would do it too. She was just like, there's one, just about them being like smarter than they let on. There's one story from like back at our old house. So this must have been when she maybe was like, I don't even know if she was like 2 yet or 1, but we had like shoes somewhere, I think to the backyard door to like let her out. So we would go out with her. And one shoe was missing. And I was like, hey, where's the other shoe? Where's the, and I kept repeating it to him, like, hey, where's the other shoe? Bring me back the other shoe. Where's the other shoe? Bring me back the other shoe. She puts her head down like this. She disappears for a second, comes back with the shoe. I was like, so you took it. You took it. You knew. You knew you took it. Now she doesn't like take shoes anymore. But I was just like, you know, I know she knows what I'm saying to her half the time. She's like, they understand. They fully well understand everything you're saying to them. It's just like sometimes they'll choose to ignore you. They're like,
Yeah. She knew she did wrong, so she
exactly.
knew like this is the only thing I did wrong today, so I gotta. Man,
Yeah, man.
they're plotting something, man. They're plotting something.
Yeah, they're always
They're
plotting.
playing dumb right now.
Exactly. They're just like, do you ever catch them like staring at you sometimes? She's just like, I could take him. She's like, I could take him. That's what I was thinking in my crazy head. So sometimes she's just like, I could take him. I could fight him. I could beat him up. I know she wouldn't though. Because right, we're best friends.
For
Don't
now.
say anything if we're best friends. There we go.
That'd be so funny if she barked, man.
Right, right there. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean that's our dogs.
yeah, that's our dogs. That's dog's life, you know. It was
Would you
jokes that.
get
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you go.
would you get another pet that's not a dog? Would you get like a cat,
I
lizard,
don't.
bunny?
I've seen her chase after. No, no. I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, I don't think so because I don't know if she would be bad with a cat because I don't think she's actually. It may be very rarely that she's interacted with a cat. Like maybe on our walk, and a cat was like you know those cats that just go out. Like maybe one time we saw, but they were like way far ahead, and it's not like she sprints towards them. If she does see another animal though, like on a walk, she'll like she has to notice it, so she'll try to go to it. I don't know if it's going to attack or going to say hi. I assume it's going to attack because it's a smaller thing, but
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know if I don't think I would. And like we had a cat we had a cat before, so like the cat was the first pet I've ever had, and then
Okay.
but rest in peace, princess. But but yeah, like I don't think I would. I don't know. I just like dogs are just the best, bro. Like I don't feel the need. Like if I'm gonna get anything else, it would be another dog. Like dogs are just
Yeah, I'm kind of in
what?
the same boat.
Yeah.
Like I'd probably get another dog, but I've been thinking about rabbits because I've just seen them so much on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think I would get a rabbit. I'd probably just stick with a dog. Makes
We
it.
had we had a rabbit for like a month maybe, because my dad because being a teacher, I think it was like one of those years where they had a rabbit in the classroom, and I guess he took it
Oh,
home for a little bit. So then we had the rabbits, and I was just like, oh, they're cool. Or I know I can't remember if it was from his school or if it was from my school when we had a pet rabbit. But there was some point where there was a rabbit in our house. That's all I remember. There was a rabbit in, but it was in between times of having a cat and a dog, I think. So I don't think we had any other, but just a rabbit. So rabbits are dope, but it's just like I don't know.
yeah. They're. I don't know anything about rabbits, but they look cute. So
No, they
thinking
are.
about
They're
it.
cute. Yeah. But I don't know if they're like, I don't know if they sit there to be cuddled though. Like maybe like a dog or a friendly cat, because cats aren't always about that. But
Yeah.
like I don't know if they
Cats
sit.
are
I can't remember
violence
if they
prone,
do.
man.
Cats are hot and cold with you, man. Like cats are just like, hey, I'm doing my own thing. Hey, you bought this house. I don't care. You brought me in. It's mine now. I go where I
You bought this
please.
house, you're renting.
You're renting. This is my place now. But I know there's loving cats out there, but I assume
Yeah.
majority of them are just like, hey, it's me. This is me, myself, and I, bro.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, tell us if you have pets, what you love about your pet. If you have a dog like us, tell us in the comment section.
Yeah. Tell us the name, the origin of your pet's
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Let's see
Origin of your pet's
if you
name.
guys have any weird ones like us.
Well, yeah. So that's been another episode of On the Ledge with Dante and Ricky. Again, I'm Dante.
Now I'm Ricky. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
Bye.